I'm so happy you're here, Harriet.
Grace, I'm so happy I'm here.
I think this is going to be a very easy interview because I feel like we're just going to speak. Like, this is a very unorganized podcast. I don't know if you've listened to it, but I don't... it's not like I'm trying to be a journalist or anything. I'm just trying to talk, basically. I just like hanging out.
Be a girl.
I'm just trying to be a girl, but I'm also like, the first time we met was at Mighty Hoopla, where we had such a silly day, which then ended in me hysterically crying. We'd just met, hysterically crying during Nelly Furtado. Yeah. And then you being like, I think you should go home maybe, because I was bawling my eyes out.
It got from, that was stage 9 of like 9 stages. Like I was trying to we were getting through it. And then at stage 9, I was like, let's bounce.
Yeah, yeah.
But then it was Friends
but it
Forever,
was fun,
BFF.
Yeah, and it was a really fun day. I mean, I love that festival so much.
If you can't cry in front of me, I'm not interested. Like if you don't want to release your soul and inner thoughts, like,
do you think you have that energy? I also think I have this energy of like people, I open up to people and then they open up to me. And I feel like you also have that energy of like... Yeah.
Well, I think I'm learning, because I have ADHD, and I'm learning that one of the things that comes with that is intense oversharing. But I think you and I are similar in the sense that we, and it's not weaponizing oversharing, but like, I just love the word weaponize.
What does weaponizing oversharing mean?
Well, it's like, no, it's not weaponizing, but it's like I, in a way, overshare because I want to connect with someone on a deeper level. So it's like, I know that, for example, when I go into an interview a celebrity, if I overshare, it relaxes them 800%. So if I walk in and be like, I've got thrush, they're like, oh, okay. I mean, that's not the typical thing that I say when I walk in to meet Jason Momoa. But like, you know.
Jason, I've got oral thrush for you.
I've got oral thrush
I've got oral thrush just for you, Jason.
But like, you know, a little bit of oversharing really deepens connection. And for me, I really struggle when somebody doesn't want to. And it's no tea, no shade, like do your thing. But like, we're probably not going to kiki for the day.
I think that's what's hard. It's like when, but my issue is when someone doesn't want to overshare back, I then really shut down and become quite like drained. Then I have to go because I feel like it's like a sort of weird thing of, I feel like it's give and take and I'm giving you loads of energy and I kind of want that energy back. Otherwise I'm going to have to cut it. Do you know what I mean?
I sometimes become like a court jester when somebody is being like Loctite. Like if someone's one of those, you know, when you meet a person, you're like, you don't want to make friends. The way in which I'm going to make you my friend, like it's my job.
It's a campaign.
I am the CEO of making you my friend. I'm running a campaign trail to become the president of your friend.
Yeah.
Like
it's a fun game.
It's a fun game. Yeah. And also I just love connecting with people. And I especially am like almost triggered by people who I'm like, what's wrong? Let me get in there. Let me root around and find out what's going on. I want to link with you. But equally, I also think, and I don't know if you agree, when you're like us, you do have to be careful. Because sometimes you overshare with the wrong person and it can feel very vulnerable and it can feel very scary. And I've learned as I've gotten older who to share with. Then I meet people like you and I'm like, boom, here we go. We're all sharing. Yeah, because
I remember the first time I met you, I overshared so much.
Yeah, but you knew, I think you can intrinsically feel when it's safe to do so.
Yes, I think so. And I do really feel like I have a good, I very rarely now, when in my 20s, I would wake up quite a lot and be like, fuck my life.
Same.
Like I've told that Marlon Rando, like the most insane story about myself.
Yeah.
And then would feel really vulnerable. But now I feel like I have better boundaries with that.
Exactly.
Were you like when you were like younger, were you like a party girl? Like what was your vibe when you were like
She's a party girl with a bad habit. No.
A bad habit for drugs.
Luckily not a bad habit for drugs.
Ecstasy.
Really, 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 really fab.
Yes, sorry, carry on.
Wait.
When you were younger.
Yes. And that was due to insecurity. I was like a big party girl with a bad habit for partying.
Yeah.
Because I desperately wanted people to like me and to be accepted by others. I remember when I
were you in with the cool crowd?
I've never been cool. Never once. I really am not. I really feel not cool. At school, I was in the middle ground. I was friends with everybody. I was not specifically friends with the cool girls. And I always felt slightly ostracized from the cool, skinny, like and I hope not to trigger anyone by using that word, but at school it was such a thing for me of like, because I was not slim and I was not the archetypal things that you wanted to be at school. And it therefore bred this deep insecurity that I had to perform to like make people like me. I had to like do things to, I guess, make up for the fact that I wasn't skinny and blonde. And that's how I perceived it. Everybody has a different experience. But I also had undiagnosed ADHD, and I would do things like I would like eat a lot because I was like needing dopamine. And then as soon as like things like smoking came around, it was like, oh, let me do this because it's something to kind of put my energy into. And so I was a party girl. And then I realized, like you were just saying, I would wake up in the morning and be like, I was oversharing with people who didn't care, weren't interested. I remember I had this friend who I texted her, and I feel so sad for the Harriet that I was, that said, oh, I'm just, because I was really trying hard in presenting. It was.
When is this? How old are you?
Like mid-20s.
Okay.
And I was like really like, you know, and I was getting jobs that like a person with 5,000 Instagram followers shouldn't have been getting. So I knew I was good, but I needed external validation so much. I texted this girl and I said, I just am feeling a bit weird. Like, feel like I'm just like not good enough. But all this, and she never replied.
She was your friend?
And she was my friend. And she never responded. She ghosted that message. And it impacted me in a way that was honestly like not okay. As in, Harriet, get a grip. But it made me suddenly click, oh, right, I cannot seek validation outside of myself. So I started to learn to internally get the validation. I remember my ex-girlfriend said something to me that was one of the most important things anyone has ever said. And she said, oh, I wouldn't like when we started dating, she was like, babe, you might not be like as successful as you want to be now, but I truly couldn't be with you if you weren't talented, because I wouldn't be able to handle the cringe. And I know that sounds like mean, but actually for me, that was like, oh, okay, it was validation. And to then be able to find that in myself as I grew in my 20s.
And I think, I think that's a good way of remembering it, is that the thing when I feel really insecure, which a lot of the time I do feel like, oh my God, am I like really lame? Is what I'm putting out there like lame?
No, it's so brilliant.
But I then remember, but so many people love me. My EMDR therapist said this thing to me yesterday. She was like, have you ever done I can't remember what it's called, but where you visualize through the eyes of the people that love you the most, how they look at you.
Oh my God, I've never done
that. So when you're feeling really insecure, and I've been doing it in other things, like visualizing my inner child quite a lot recently. But she said this thing of like, sit when you're feeling these feelings of like, I'm alone and I'm lame and no one thinks I'm cool and I'm ever like all of those sort of like intrusive thoughts. Imagine how your best friend, your girlfriend, like the people who love you the most, what they see when and it's so amazing.
Oh, that's
if you actually think about that, because that's so much of our problems is like, we forget to stop and think about how the people who we think about the people who hate us and what they, or what people who we perceive that hate us. Like,
and by the way, that's made up. That's
totally
something I feel so embarrassed about in my 20s as well. I'm not embarrassed because like your 20s are your 20s, but the things I really failed at was seeking validation outside myself. And by the way, the best thing I did to combat that was to vocalize how good I am at my job. I'm really good at this thing that I do. I'm not good at so many other things. And I'm not naturally like intellectual. I'm not book smart. I can't pass an exam. I can't remember your name. But I am
Jason Momoa.
But I am good at my job. And so if you, especially women, and this is no shade on men, but women have been taught to shut up. And by the way, when I vocalize about being good at my job, people don't like it.
I know.
All right. Chill out. It's like, no, but guys, it's not me telling you you're rubbish. It's me encouraging you to really feel that you are good.
And it's also coming back to what we're saying. It's you seeing yourself in the way that other people think you are good at your job. And that's how you should say it. It's like, you're not saying I'm better than anyone else.
No,
you're saying
that's
I am
very
good.
different.
And exactly, because sometimes I think people conflate that self-confidence with thinking they are better than people. It's just that you know you are good at this and you know you should be taken seriously and be respected. And that's like, firstly, really inspiring, but also feeds into how you feel about yourself. It's like part of that fitting into who you are.
Yeah, and I think, you know what, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but in relationships, I've realized it literally like recently. My girlfriend very much encourages me to like love myself and be very self-sufficient. And I'm such a lover girl. I'm like, I could glue you to me and being chuffed with it. But I realized recently, I used to do this. Well, I do this thing where I'm like, oh, like you probably don't fancy me or anything, and it's like, no, you do fancy me because you're going out with me, and I am hot and I am in my own way. And I think it's like the same as all of that. It's like reassuring yourself because I tell you what, if you're looking for it outside of yourself, you are going to get hurt and you are going to get burned. And by the way, that does not mean that you should not listen to advice and listen to people.
Totally. It's just like, more know where you're seeking it. This is the thing. It's like I've always sought validation from like the last person in the world who should be giving it to me. Yeah. Someone who's so unqualified, because they barely know me. Yeah. And also probably someone who's already scorned me. So why am I going back to them for validation?
Obsessed with scorn. It's like very biblical. You have scorned me.
It's a childlike reaction to think that other people can like resolve and like clean your wounds for you. You know what I mean?
And I really learned that with my girlfriend, man.
Yeah.
She was like, I can't, like, I think she said to me once, I've told you how much I love you so many times, but all you hear is the absolute opposite. She was like, whatever I do, I can't show you that I love you. And that changed something in me. I was like, oh my God. Because our past experiences portray in the same way that you not replying to me, even though it doesn't impact me now because like that was 10 years ago, that kind of girl that was very insecure, you know, that could open a wound of
100%.
Whereas now I go, Grace.
Yeah.
And you do the same to me. We do it to each other. But like, it's one of those things where I think if you're suffering with feeling pain outside of yourself, work on yourself first to get to a place where you love yourself, and then everything else falls into place.
Because it's that thing of like, you know, this is not coming. This is a self-help podcast now.
Oh my God. Is this Diary of a CEO? Do some of those things where it goes, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
But pain, resilience, anger, intuition.
Keto.
Hugh.
Why it's that thing of like, because when you're seeking validation in that way, it's like that phrase of like, don't go shopping when you're hungry. It's like you just always end up with the something that's not right for you.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something I'm really sitting with at the moment. I'm doing such interesting psychological work at the moment, like really on my own, sitting with so many feelings. But it feels really empowering when you're like, oh, I'm doing this alone. Like I'm going to do this on my own.
I'm so proud
and I'm going to
of
get
you.
through it. And then I'll be like, I did do that. Obviously with the support of loads of people. I'm not an island, but like a lot of it is just on my own. I don't need to talk about it really. And that feels like a really grown up Grace.
And I'm really proud of you because I think we definitely have similarities in that when you are a kind of person like us, sometimes you need to vocalize your trauma to process it. But then when you realize that some trauma needs to be processed internally and then vocalized, you become a lot stronger because
it is. It's like building a wall.
Yeah. And it's also like protecting yourself first. Put your own, and this is my favorite phrase, you are your own lifeboat. Like you put your life jacket on, you are your own lifeboat. You're the only one that is going to save yourself. Huel.
EMDR. No, I honestly like said to my EMDR therapist yesterday, and I will stop talking about it, but it's just because I had this amazing session with her. I was like, I've started doing this thing. I will. Now. She's amazing. I've started doing this thing where like, if I'm listening to music and like a really romantic love song comes on, I don't think about singing. I don't think about the emotions of that song with someone else. I think about having those emotions for myself. And I was like, that's so cringe. I said to the woman, I was
cringe.
like, that is well, it is quite cringe, but like, it's so effective because it's that thing of like you've just said, it's like you are the only person who can fundamentally love every part of you.
Yeah. And you're the only person that's always going to be there for you.
Exactly. And then once you can do that, then, you know, the world's your oyster. Huel. So I think we have that similar vibe of like growing up thinking we had to be funny all the time. And that's sort of the currency.
Sorry that we're funny all the time.
And then how did you, in your 20s, start to sort of like, I guess, or evolve into also knowing that you were like a much more multi-dimensional Harriet?
I had my Saturn return. Have you heard much about this? Like at 29, it was a big old punch in the dick. for about 2 to 5 years.
2 to still it's going on.
2 to now.
Yeah. Still in it.
It was really funny because turning 30 was obviously scary. Why, I don't know. But I broke up with my girlfriend at the time of 8 years. So it was a big moment of like, what the hell is going on? And honestly, I went into therapy like with this woman who is honestly, probably I could say is like saved my life in many ways because she's just changed me fundamentally. Well, I've changed me, but through the help of her fundamentally as a person. And I think my partner at the time helped me so much to build my confidence, and our relationship came to an end, and we're both happily in new relationships, and it makes me so happy to see her happy. And I think it's the same for me. But that was very traumatizing because it was a realization that I was completely codependent with this person and I didn't know how to exist without somebody else and without a partner. And so I went on a journey when I turned 30 of completely pouring back into myself. And it has taken a little while, and it's slow and steady wins the race. But I basically put all of my energy into work and was like, I'm going to do so well at my job, whilst also pumping into like exercising and going to therapy. And I kind of have like a trifecta of things I have to do, which is exercise, therapy, and trying to eat well. But when I say eat well, I mean a very balanced diet of eating badly and eating well and having a nice time, but all together making some form of health. And I really think the shift came by dating people and like being faced with somebody not being in love with you back or somebody leaving, or over and over again, like different kinds of relationships showing me different things. And basically every single time bringing back to the fact that, well, I'm always fine. So why am I freaking out every time that someone doesn't want to be my partner? Which end up inevitably leading me to meet my girlfriend, who I'm so happy with. And I feel like in that journey, I've ended up meeting someone who is so insistent that I'm my own person. And I met her at the exactly right time when I was ready to be my own person. And it's so weird because I'm in this relationship dynamic where I'm like, oh, like I'm in a relationship, but I'm also still exactly the same as the single girl. So it's like I've got the best of both.
Dream.
I've got the best of both worlds because I'm like out here with my friends. Like she really encourages me to work, see my friends, do other stuff. And then also I have this sacred like bond with somebody that is also really private and really unique. And I think anybody out there who's listening to this and going, well, I'm still single, and it doesn't matter if you're single or not. Like it's not about that person, it's about me, and it's about the journey I've gone on.
I think that's exactly it. I saw this TikTok the other day. It's that woman, oh fuck, what's her name? I actually like really love her. She's like a American dating expert, young, brown hair. Sabrina
Carpenter.
I was watching this TikTok with Sabrina Carpenter.
She's actually a world-renowned dating expert.
No, this girl, I think I sent you one of her videos, but she was saying this thing where she was like, it's not about the person you're going to meet. She was like, if I told you you're going to meet that person, and I know that for sure, you would just relax and you would not be spending this time. I guess what happens in your 30s is all this pressure of like, I should be.
Oh, it's a time. It's a time. You're told there's a time constraint when there really isn't.
If that didn't exist, exactly. And then as soon as I was like, oh my God, that's so fucking true.
This is cute, right? And this is for anyone like listening or watching that is feeling that feeling, right? A year before, the year to the day before I met my girlfriend, I did one of those lame TikTok things where it was like, why did they never reply to you? And it scrolls around, and it says the timing wasn't right. And I look so sad in this video. And I found it the other day because it's nearly been a year since me and my girlfriend have been together. And I was like, I didn't remember that we matched on a dating app 2 years before we met again. So a year to the fucking day that I met her, this TikTok thing was going, it's not the right time. Right. And then I had this year, and genuinely, I did funnel into myself. I did have loads of fun. I dated someone else, had a really good time.
But also,
with her.
you probably you had to get to this point where you could be this like happy, independent person in a relationship. It wasn't the right time.
And I kept saying to myself for the last like 3 years, I was like, you know it's coming, so just relax and enjoy yourself. And I remember I dated this girl and had a breakup, but we had such a nice breakup. I was like, you're not really for me and I'm not really for you. Like, I really like you, but you don't want a relationship. So like, see ya. And I was like, who's this girl that's making decisions and not? And she's an amazing girl and like still thinks she's fab.
That's, I think I had an experience not long ago where I just for the first time in my life very confidently just walked away when I saw right early on that I was like, this is just not right.
Yeah.
Whereas I used to be the queen of like living something out until it died a horrific mortal death that all of my friends had to sort of watch, right?
Yeah, because you were trying to prove yourself right, which is you're unlovable. Like subconsciously,
it's so true.
It's like, let me chase this person that does not want me. If they are not replying, if they are not doing this, it's not about you. It's about your need to be liked by the person in the room that's a dick.
Yeah.
It's your need to be liked by the person that isn't interested in having any new friends.
It's exactly that. And that's the thing that I'm really realizing now is that for so much of my 20s, especially because I'm looking at myself now and I don't actually recognize myself compared to the girl that I was in my 20s. But in my 20s, it was, I didn't even like these people. But if they were rejecting me, I would have to do everything in my might to get them to not reject me so that I can then in turn reject them and feel good and feel like I had power. And this was the first time in like January, February where I was like, I don't actually care. Like, I don't care. This is just not worth my energy. So I'm just going to walk away. And I was like, oh, that's how it feels. Like, store that memory, store that feeling. Like, know what that feels like. It's so fucking nice.
And also remembering that your perception of things are probably completely skew if. I used to think there were certain people that hated me who I'm now like really good friends with or have worked with and had an amazing time because my insecurity was like, oh, does this person not like me? Does this? And it's like, Harriet, you need to get your head out your ass.
Yeah.
And remember that everybody is going through their own stuff and everybody is doing their own thing. So please remember that, like, whether it be dating or a friendship, like if somebody rejects you in whatever form that you perceive it to be rejection, like that's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And like,
it's so funny though, because I saw this thing that like the Mel Robbins thing that's like, let them.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing.
I love it as well. My mum's read the book and will she fucking stop talking about it? No. Like everything, she's like, let them. I'm like, Mum, you should get a tattoo. But then I saw this really funny thing that was like, it's like, obviously let them. But then also sometimes people are just cunts.
Yes.
Yeah. And so because basically my point is sometimes I have deserved some of the shit. Sometimes I have been a fucking psychopath and I have to take responsibility for that because that's part of my like, no, it's true. Like I used to be insane and I used to be really bad at just like letting
hyper anxiously attached probably.
Exactly. With avoidant people.
Yeah.
It would send me so fucking west. And I used to be the queen of writing like 95 WhatsApp messages and then deleting like 1 in 5 so that my boyfriend at the time would wake up to like, Grace deleted this message. You're a fucking prick. Grace deleted this message.
Yeah. We've all been there. We've all been there where we accidentally send a message and then delete it and be like, sorry, that wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's so cringe now.
Wait, so when did you start like interviewing people? How old were you?
21.
Okay.
You left Goldsmiths and was told by the drama teacher that I was rubbish.
Really?
She was like,
I don't agree with that.
She was Spanish and she was like, you're very bad at being an actor. But very good at doing somebody else. Like basically her point was, that was an awful accent. But she was basically like, you're really good at being an exaggerated version of yourself. And so I brainstormed it and I was like, oh, maybe I should just be myself then. So I literally got my iPad 1 because I'm 18.
iPad 1.
iPad 1.
iPad 1. Go back to the Spanish accent there. iPad 1. Yeah.
And I forced anybody around me to do an interview with me. I was laughing because your friend James Blake was in the year above me. Wish I'd known that at the time. Would have fucking got him to do an interview, wouldn't I?
Oh my God, yeah.
Would have got him to do an interview. But I just literally interviewed anyone. I remember going to a cocktail bar, interviewed the like owner of the cocktail bar. And I just, when I say, and people's like, oh, how did you get into it? I worked so hard. I did every job. I said yes to everything for years and years and years and years, which by the way, big slay, because now I've got so much berserk experience in all areas. But I essentially just started being like, do you want to have an interview on camera? My friend Lucy Rose, who's a singer, we went to school together, or she went to like next door school, and she was my first, and she's like done so well in music, and she was like, yeah, no worries. Like, even though she was like really busy and had all this shit going on, she said yes to me, and it was so kind of her. I'm so grateful to her to this day. And the same with all the people that said yes to me when they probably shouldn't, just to be nice.
Who's the most interview that's gone wrong? Like,
so weird. And people ask me this question and they're desperate for like a juicy answer.
No, but more like, has anything ever gotten like weird?
Zac Efron is the only one that...
Sorry, I just remembered what he looks like now. That's why I laugh.
Oh, sweet angel.
I know, but it's just like, I was in love with him.
I am gay, so I can't...
I was literally Troy.
Although he kind of does look like a lesbian a bit. And I loved that film with him like shagging Nicole Kidman. It was really fun. Okay, so I was interviewing him for Baywatch, and he came in and he was really lovely. He was like, oh my God, I love your jeans. I was nervous. It was like kind of early on in my career. I can't remember if it was for Kiss or even for my previous radio station. And I like sat down with him and I asked a question, because in the film he snogs The Rock, right?
The Rock, not a rock.
No.
He makes love to a rock.
And he fucked a rock.
Yeah.
No, he snogged The Rock.
Right.
And I said, I need some tips on snogging. I don't, by the way. I'm incredible at kissing. But obviously, you know, creating content.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, like, can you give me some tips on snogging? And he...
got with you?
And then we had sex. No, he just freaked out. Like in a very, he was just like, he didn't know what to say in a way that I was like, ugh.
Oh my God.
I was like malfunctioning, because he was like, even the girl that he was paired with was like, what do you mean? Just like, are you good at kissing? Like, snogging just means kissing. And
oh my God, bless him.
He obviously just was like so press trained that he was like, he was so scared to answer the question in case he said something like,
I think people are like, they've got like the fear of God in them. And like, don't say anything that wasn't in the package that you were given to talk about.
Correct. Like, and I thought I was going to shit myself, because I just felt like I'd said this thing. And it's a good, really good experience, by the way, when you say something that someone doesn't like the way you bounce back is such good practice.
Muscle memory, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like remembering that, and then
being like, right, move on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't spend the rest of the day.
Yeah,
I just why did I do that?
I went, and his answer in the end was chapstick. But I don't even know whether it was that awkward, but it felt horrible for me. And then obviously when I was pranked by Simon Pegg, that was hell.
I loved that.
Yeah, when I was pranked by Simon Pegg, I thought I was going to be fired by the whole of Paramount. Like,
when did you find out that you were pranked?
In the middle. So at the end of the interview, he walks in and he's like, hey. And I was like...
oh, that was amazing.
And I was like, because I'm such a huge Simon Pegg fan. I could have cried. I was like, that's so relieving, because I kept laughing at this Pom who was being like, my dog got killed by a millennial. And I was like, like trying not to like piss myself in her face.
It's actually mad that like you just have no idea that was what was happening.
Well, when she said my dog was beaten to death by a millennial, I was like, there's no way this is fake.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't say that her dog was beaten. No, she did for a prank. She absolutely went there. And now like I'm always convinced that someone's trying to prank me.
Yeah, that's so fair. I would be really paranoid that Simon Pegg's in my bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, would love.
Yeah, I love him. I was once in a lift with him. He's epic.
Yeah.
The thing that you were saying about like being able to bounce back from those moments, it's a bit like, even just in life, you know, when you sort of say something a bit weird to someone and then you're like, oh shit. And then I used to be like, fuck, like, are they going to think I'm a fucking weirdo? Because I just made this like really weird, like, I don't know, like slightly like maybe over familiar comment or something. And then now I'm like, just bounce back, just keep it moving. Like,
and you are also a comedian, which is like, you have to be able to do that. And it's,
but that's why doing stand-up's been amazing for my social skills, really.
Yeah, but also you build it up, because like, for example, that Zac Efron interview was from like years ago, like probably like over 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, it might even be 8 years ago. And now, honestly, nothing. This is why when people ask me that question, like not a lot phases me. But in the interview where I was being pranked, in my head, I was just laughing. I was like, this is hilarious. Like this girl is cuckoo crazy. Like, and actually, obviously I was being pranked, but like when weird shit happens, like And when someone's like a bit rude or a bit standoffish, I'm just like, cool, I'm going to use this to my advantage. And I just, in those scenarios, I don't care. Like, I care more about like in person, like being like saying someone's name wrong or doing things like that, which like that could
is
send
mortifying.
That could send me into
also
orbit.
I hate when I'll be like, nice to meet you, and someone will be like, we've met before. That I feel
so now
really
I just
bad.
say lovely to see you to everyone. Like
Really?
there is not one person that I'm not lovely to see, because like
right, but then see, if someone said lovely to see me, I'd be like, but we've not met.
no, you wouldn't.
I
You'd be
would.
like, oh, so
I
nice
do.
to see you.
I would do. If someone says that to me, I get
Well,
really confused.
there's a lot of people being really confused around me then.
Yeah. No, seriously, I get confused when people say that to me, because I'm like, fuck, have we met? And then I'll spend the next 10 minutes trying to figure out where I've met them.
I don't.
I know, but I've
never thought about it again.
Really?
Someone says lovely to see, like a lot of celebrities do that to me.
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
lovely to see you. I'm like,
well, I'll tell you what, right? This is such an insane name drop, but I once met Reese Witherspoon, and then we met very briefly once.
I love that.
And then like a year later, I was at a film premiere, and we were in this cinema. I think it was like maybe the Royal Festival Hall. I can't remember where it was. She was like across the lobby, and she was like, oh my God. And she was like, Grace. And I was like, what the hell? Like, sorry. We met so briefly, like in a shop, and she'd remembered me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so, and I called my mum and I was like, Reese Witherspoon remembered me. And she was like, well, that's why she's so professional. Like, she's obviously just learned this skill since she was really young, of like,
yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that, yeah, it just made me like obviously love her, and it was great PR for her.
But also sometimes that's just people being really great people. Like for me,
Yeah.
I remember faces, I don't remember names. So 9 times out of 10, I will be like, you know, I will remember someone's face and be like, I'm going to make an effort to say it, because I've walked in so many rooms and felt hostility that I never want someone to walk into a room with me in it and feel hostility. So it's my main role when somebody's being interviewed by me, but also the runner, the researcher, the producer, the cameraman, the camerawoman, like anybody involved in the production. You will be treated the same way that Reese Witherspoon is treated.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just think it's so insane. Someone like Reese Witherspoon meets so many people.
No,
I was like, I'm either
Grace Campbell.
so memorable that like you cannot forget me. I am, and I will say something happened to me the other day that really bothered me, and then I will ask you another question. But this man who I met like for a while, like someone that I know's boyfriend, and we like spoke quite like for a long period of time at a party once. He was like, nice to meet you. And it was the first time in my life that someone that I've met has said, nice to meet you to me. And I was like, wow, that's so humbling, because no one has ever forgotten meeting me before.
Yeah.
And he was like, shit, I'm really sorry. And I was like, no, it's all good. I'm just like insanely humbled by that. Like, it's never happened to me.
Yeah,
Really
it's happened to me so many times.
Really?
Yeah.
But you're very memorable.
Yeah, but I think it's nothing to do with you.
Yeah, it's just people. Yeah. People are busy.
Note, like, I keep seeing these TikToks just because you've brought it up, like, and I just find them so funny. And it reminds me of you talking about the video you posted about hen do's. But like, stop bringing your boyfriend to the function.
I know.
I don't think we want to bring him. Like, I think I will tell you, all of my friends don't bring their boyfriends. Like, they don't want to. They want to come alone. And it's different with lesbians, because it's like, obviously we're all girls, girly pops, like, doesn't make any difference. But like, what do you think about
Why
that?
would you want your boyfriend there is the question that I more think. It's like, why, like, because I mean, listen, no one brings their boyfriends to anything, like, as in, like, me and my friends are very like, we're hanging out, unless I'm friends with a couple, then like both of you come.
Exactly. And I'm friends with couples, and I love hanging out with their boyfriends, but I'm like, don't like bring your boyfriend, like, oh, I'm gonna bring my boyfriend. It's like, well, I don't know if you are.
No, because it's more like, what I don't understand is why you would think it would be a fun vibe for your boyfriend, and then if it's just girls hanging out, it's like, why do you think that's going to be a good vibe?
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, because then we're all accommodating conversation because we're trying to talk about stuff, and then we're just like, oh, by the way, like, I don't know, like, that's the thing that
by the way, let me just explain.
Yeah,
like,
by the way, I'm there crying about something that's just happened, and I'm like, oh, by the way, hi, Dave, like, I'm catching you up on my life's trauma. Like, I don't think so.
It's in the same way that, like, I feel like the boys don't want to bring their girlfriends, like, but the narrative is always like, oh, the bros don't want to bring the girls. It's like, the girls don't want to bring the boys. Like,
and I think that's a good thing, like a good bit of like PR and messaging is like, again, it's coming back to thinking that you don't have to go everywhere with the person you're with. You should
And
have a
I'm
very
learning that
independent
only
life.
recently. Because
Yeah.
I used to be like, oh, bring your boyfriend. It's like to my friends who have kids, I'm like, oh, bring your kids. And they're like, no.
Yeah,
like,
I'm leaving the kids at home.
Yeah, I'm absolutely
so
coming to get
excited.
lit and be not with my children. And it's like, no tea, no shade. They love their kids. But it's like, if we're hanging out, he's just going to be in the corner, like not saying anything.
And also she's going to be accommodating him and having to like make sure he's okay. And that's the thing that I've started thinking is like, it's kind of why like coming back to like going to parties and stuff. Like sometimes I do think now going alone is quite good. If you don't want to have to sort of worry about.
I much prefer going alone because I don't, if you want to leave or if I want to leave, like I can't be bothered with that. And luckily I've got good party friends who I can leave them there or vice versa. They can leave.
Yeah.
And like there's none of this like, oh, we should both go. No, we should both not go.
No,
like,
because that's the thing that stresses me out is like worrying that like if they leave, I have to go. It's like, what if I'm having a really good time?
What if I'm...
So you like hosting? I remember you telling me this. Do you like having people around to your house?
By the way, I'm having a birthday party and you have to come.
When is
a
it?
House party. I'm not telling you on camera.
Oh, sorry.
But I'll tell you after.
Yeah, I'm so there.
Yes.
But so you like throwing a house party?
I love hosting. And when I throw house parties, my mum and my dad hosted dinner parties every weekend throughout my whole childhood. And I would come down and everyone was having dinner and I would be the star of the fucking show.
Yeah,
and I would come
on
in and
the
be
table.
like, oh my God, hi everyone. Like, what do you want me to do? Sing?
Yeah.
Like, and so now
That's really cute that they did that.
Yeah, and they would involve us, like they would just, and for example, when
what were your parents like vibe of their parties? Was it like
raucous,
really
nuts, like 70,000 bottles of wine?
Love.
Like, yeah, and my dad sadly died when I was 17, so I never got to like really get pissed with him.
Aww.
And I feel like that. I'm just realizing it now. Like, I feel like that's one of the saddest things is that I've never been able to get really pissed with my dad because I think it looked like so much fun when they would do it all together.
And he looked like he was having so much fun.
Oh my God. And he was the kind of guy that would be pissed and he would be like, tell me all of your problems and I'm going to solve them all. Like my friends used to sit with him and like, he would like counsel them about their issues. And I feel like actually in retrospect, that's one of the saddest things about him dying is that I haven't had like a night out with him. Like imagine if I took my dad to
17 is such a hard age. That's right before.
I was straight as well. I was a totally different person. I was straight. I was like looked so different. I acted different. It's bizarre. I'm just not that person. He doesn't know me at all. And I've actually now been alive longer than he's been dead.
Yeah,
which
that
is
is
mad.
such a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. Anyway, didn't mean to bring the dead dad.
No, I think but it is like, that's hard. And also that thing of like wanting to get fucked with your dad.
Yeah.
That's a real.
But that's luckily him and my mum, who is incredible and she's still hosts.
And they were very, very sociable.
Oh my God. And my dad would be the kind of guy, it's kind of like me and my girlfriend. I'm the one that's like, woo, we're going to have a dinner party. And my dad would be like, I roll, don't want to have a dinner party. The minute the guests would arrive, he'd be, he was literally like, because he's a Taurus. He was a Taurus.
Yeah, right, okay.
So he was like,
his birthday?
May, oh God, I've forgotten, May the 11th.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so I have it ingrained in my body how to host. I will never turn up at your house, except I did today, which made me feel sick on the cab here because I know we're working, but I suddenly realized I was coming to your house. Never turn up at anyone's house without a gift.
Wow.
And I felt uncomfortable coming here without flowers.
No, you're coming to come on a podcast. Next time you can bring flowers.
Yeah,
I will. We've got some flowers. Someone came to my house the other day and they were late. So she was like, I brought flowers because I felt bad that I was late. I was like, that's really nice. I do not do stuff like that.
But that's my upbringing. And then therefore, when I host, I love cooking. I love doing snacks. I'm incredible at dips. Like it's some weird thing that I'm good at. Salsa, guacamole, hummus, all that shit I can make by hand and I'm really good at it.
That's my favorite kind of thing to have when I'm like sitting and talking.
Cheese, salami, dips. You're veggie, aren't you? So no salami.
I eat chicken now.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, I've started eating chicken.
Yeah, exactly, veggie.
Yeah.
And I also love creating an environment where I've got a friendship group where everyone comes from different places and everyone gets on like a house on fire. Mostly because everyone's got ADHD, but like everybody who comes together in my friendship group like loves each other and then independently becomes friends and goes off and has their own friendship. So for me, hosting is one of the biggest joys of my life. And I haven't really done it for like a year because I've been so busy. So I'm very excited because this year, Harriet the host is back.
Yeah. And so do you like, the thing I actually have become, I mean, I don't ever host like big parties, but I guess sometimes I do. but I can't handle mess the next day.
So luckily for me, Ollie Fisk, my makeup artist and best friend, he will clean the entire flat before he leaves.
You're joking.
So he will...
Wait, I need a friend like that.
He's an introverted extrovert. So he will he's the star of the show, and then he reaches a point where he's like, that's it, I'm done. So
And he
will
cleans.
clean the whole place. Also, my friend Jared, who's been at my parties a few times recently, he cleaned the whole house on his own. Basically, people, when you host all the time, which I'm always the host, I always have it, people do clean up for you, and it's fantastic.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Because that's what I dread. And then
Yeah.
it's the thing that I can't handle is waking up and having to do it without like loads of other people
You gotta
helping
clean up
me.
as you go, girl.
No, but see, I'm not. Girl, that's not my vibe.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, put it in the sink. Yeah, put it in the oven. Like,
okay.
yeah, like,
So
so put it outside. And then
that's
it's
what we
like,
need to change.
outside we've got like a fucking pile of like cigarette butts. And yeah, I'm just.
You need to just get a massive bin when you have a party that sits outside and everybody put your stuff in the bin. And do this if they don't. Why are you not putting that? Why are you not putting that bottle in the bin?
That's a good way to do it. So like, sort of so when people come in, do you say like, can you put
No. It's like an unspoken
as you
rule.
go thing.
Well,
I just don't think my friends are that respectful.
You've got to leave.
I don't. If you were going to go to a party with someone, who would be the dream plus one to take?
As in celeb?
It could be anyone. It could be friend, it could be celeb. Like, who would you want to like go? Like, I'm throwing an amazing party. Who are you bringing?
I want to say like my mum.
Oh, I love you. Your mum sounds like a great time.
Like she is, me and her are so similar in that she could be having the worst day of her life and she'll turn up at a party and you would never know. Like her husband could have just died and she'll slut it out on the dance floor.
Really?
Yeah,
that's very inspirational.
Yeah, she's the reason I am strong-minded. I remember when I was a kid and I used to come into the adult spaces as I got older especially, and I would swear and I would do things that were like a bit off kilter for like a younger person. And she never chastised me for being myself. She never made me feel bad for being a bit weird and a bit different. Like, we definitely had issues in the sense that she didn't know what ADHD was, neither did I. And I reckon life would have been easier if we'd both known. But she never judged me for being weird. For being a weirdo, for being different. She always had my back. And also is the same as me. So, like, for example, if someone said something off kilter, like, something homophobic or something that I don't agree with and I kick off. And I say kick off, I'm not like, throwing punches, but I will say if there's a problem. She would never come to me and be like, shh, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, she would always be like, well, like, fair enough.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a great way to feel, I think.
Yeah.
Like that your mum has your back. That's a really nice way to feel. Sometimes I feel my parents think I'm way too argumentative and they're like, you need to rein it in.
No, don't get me wrong. My mum thinks I'm too argumentative, but she's never told me that. She let me work it out for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did work it out for myself. I think, like, I remember one time she said to me, like, you don't need to scream your point for it to be heard. And the minute I heard that, I was like, oh, she's so right. And now I really do the opposite of that. And I try and argue things in a really soft way.
Yeah, what's it called? Non-something resolution?
Non-conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
That's what my mum's been teaching me about.
I'm learning that now. And it's really great. And but
so that's like being able to reach a resolution without actually having a sort of argument.
Exactly.
Because I used to think that arguments were like the only way you could get
it was your natural,
through something.
Yeah, same as me. It's my natural like go-to. So I think I'd take my mum. Everyone loves her at a party. She's got big boobs as well. And I feel like there's something about coming to a party with big boobs. Just everyone's like drawn towards you.
And so will she like be at your birthday party?
Oh no, not this year.
But does she like going
yeah.
Okay. Oh, love.
But then she's also like quite like serious and intelligent and does like all this stuff that I'm like, what is that? She retired like 20 years ago and still working 7 jobs. It's really confusing.
But she also just sounds like she doesn't take herself too seriously. Which
I think is very
amazing
silly sausages.
I think that's the way to age as well. Yeah. Is like if you age not taking yourself too seriously, you age so much better. Like you just come across as younger. You know what I mean? Like your spirit is not your like spirit. It's true. Like that's how I want to age. Is not like taking things that seriously.
And
while being serious.
Yes, while being extremely serious.
Yeah, and hosting the Brits.
Yeah, and hosting the Brits really seriously.
Yeah.
But that is my dream is to host the Brits and have her there watching me. And like, because I know, because she's one of those, like all of my friends are like, oh my God, Janet. Her name's Janet.
Love.
And she, for example, her main favorite thing to do is to comment on every single Instagram, like as if she's not my mum though. Wow, this looks amazing. What's this? Wow, this presenter is so good. And but it's not ironic. It's not ironic. It's like serious. Like
it's because she thinks that like no one's gonna know. Yeah.
She's promoting me. She's like PR.
That is the sweetest thing I've ever had in my whole fucking life.
Also, she'll DM me, reply to my stories, thinking that people can see it. So she'll be like. Also, third thing, I think. This is one of the joys of life if your mum does this, and don't ever complain about it, is if they send you Instagrams that are like, having a daughter is like having water. You need it to live. Like, send them to me. I love it.
My mum does not do that, but she does reply like love heart eyes, which I always just think is bare cute. Because like, just even imagining my mum watching my Instagram stories makes me laugh. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
and it's
me like away, like chatting absolute shit, like really hungover, and my mum just being like, love heart. I'm like,
I love that she's gone through the emojis and been like, which one should I do?
Yeah. It's really cute. It's really cute. I love that she comments on your posts as though she's not your mum. Yeah. I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Wow, obsessed with this presenter.
Yeah.
Such a big fan.
Also replying like, wow, beautiful girl. Like, love you. I look exactly like you. So
that's really cute. Okay, so she's your +1.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've had that. Yeah. So I love that so much.
Oh, yeah. I'm so different.
We went for dinner to that French restaurant. And did you drink dirty martinis as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love them so much.
Same.
Give me dinner in a drink, and it's a drink and it's dinner. And which one is it? I'm having snacks.
I know, and that's what I love about dirty martinis is that like I'll be like a tiny bit hungry, but like not hungry enough that I like want to have a meal.
Yeah.
So I have a dirty martini, and then I eat the olives before I even drink the drink.
Oh
and I'm not hungry.
Do eat it first.
Yeah. But then I'm so fucked.
I think there's something about a martini that is so elegant that even if I don't want one, I want to drink it.
It's so grown up. It's like that's
so
what when you were a child, that's how you thought feeling like a grown-up woman with a house and a business would feel like.
It's
when
like Mad Men. It's
totally.
How on earth they just sat there drinking like martini after martini? Like, dude, we had a lot.
We
had wine and then that.
Yeah, I do have this thing where like people call me a fish because like when they drink with me, they sort of drink at my speed, but I drink really fast.
Well, luckily for you, we're both as bad as each other. So I remember think
we were hammered. Yeah. We loved it.
No,
dirty martini, drunk.
Well.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, we had that amazing baked camembert thing, which I think about all the time.
And we just kept ordering more food.
It was like Saint Marcelin, like with honey. Oh my God, I can't wait to go to Paris. But yeah, that is like, so if you were gonna have a drink named after you, what would it be? A dirty martini?
Yeah.
Really?
Dirty martini, because I am a little bit sweet, a little bit salty.
With vodka?
Oh, yes. Can't have them with gin anymore. I got sick once from gin. So vodka, dirty martini. And I know this is a bit kooky wooky, but I do quite like them to put a lemon twist in there as well. Because I'm like, give me all that I can get for my money.
I know, but then that's really frowned upon because I had a martini with a lemon twist the other day and it was amazing. And I was like, I'd love to merge these two because it's such a vibe, but it's really looked down on.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to start ordering that.
My other favorite drink is vodka Diet Coke. Like, shut up. I don't care what you think. Like, obviously it's the most basic bitch drink on the planet. Fucking hell, it tastes nice. Like, what do you want me to do?
It does taste really good, but the only thing about it is like, I just, too much caffeine.
Even, like, Diet Coke, I have caffeine-free Diet Coke.
Caffeine. Oh, really?
I have caffeine-free Diet Coke.
That thing?
Yeah.
What, decaf Diet Coke?
Yeah, big time.
What, and they have that in the Wetherspoons?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I'm not worried about going to bed when I'm on a night out, am I?
Yeah. Legend alert. Whoa, oh my God.
Well,
we've got a full-time raver in the room.
Big time. Inside.
Okay, Harriet, I love you.
I love you too.
Can't wait to party with you again.
Yes.
Are you going to Mighty Hoopla?
Yes.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
So will you promise to cry for me happy tears this time?
I will cry happy tears because I have a feeling that I will be happy then.
Yeah.
I'm doing such
You're
good
happy
work.
now.
Yeah, and you're happy. You seem amazing.
I'm super happy.
And you look great and you're
Thanks.
thriving and your career's going so well. I'm endlessly proud of you.
I'm proud of you. And I'm
so
honoured to be on this podcast, by the way, because you have such incredible guests and I think you are so funny. And I feel like when you speak to a person and you go so fast that no one around you knows what you're talking about or how you got there, that's a good friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if no one can understand what we're talking about, perfect.
Yeah. I do think that sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, if I was at dinner the other day and I was talking so fast, it's the only way that I could know that the girl next to me wasn't writing down what I was saying, because I was saying such personal shit and also talking about stuff that like no one should know at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I was just like going like that really quickly, and my friend was going, can you relax? And I was like, no, because this girl is so close to us and I can just tell that she's on her spidey senses.
Was she a journalist?
I don't know. But like she had her, I could just tell.
You have to be careful though, because the other day I was talking to a journalist and I told them I had a new fridge and it was in the sun the next day.
That's remarkable.
I know. Also, I was like, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, but sorry, what was the story?
It was about the fact that it was like, Harriet is so hot, she's cool or something. And then it was like, she's really having a nice time because she was able to buy a fridge. Well, basically, I got really excited because I could buy an expensive fridge.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing quite well.
Yeah.
And it was like the thing I've wished for like my whole life was a big fridge, big American fridge.
Is it a big American fridge?
Yeah. It's double-sided. It's like 2 doors that open up.
Wow.
And it's got an ice machine and a water
And then like a
machine.
pull-out freezer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unreal. Has he got
It's unreal. Yeah. Filtered water
Oh,
as well.
yeah, obviously. Because all the
Tapped in.
rat poison in London. Don't drink tap water in London. Well, it's got really bad high levels of rat poison at the moment.
My girlfriend won't drink tap water. She's from France. I feel like in France, the water is like really nice.
Yeah.
So I think in England, she's like, I would never dare.
Well, now you've got your big American fridge. She doesn't need to.
I don't need to worry.
Stick with me, kid.
And if you want to read about it, read the Sun.
Read it in the Sun. Also boycott the Sun.
Boycott the Sun.
Love you.
Love you, bye.
Mwah, mwah.